live. Hello, we're back again for yet another Loonie Liberal Power Hour with your host, Lance Richards. I wanted to start off this particular one with, now I know that these things seem small to a lot of people. Because what happens is they chip away. They just chip little by little by little by little until the next thing you know, everything that we hold dear is gone. I saw something today. I woke up to something today. It's just troubling. It's just something that is disrespectful. It's spitting in the face of America. It's putting yourself above our legacy and what makes us great. That dirty fucking Russian hooker ripped out all the old first ladies' stuff in that garden and made it look like a piece of shit. It just looks like a fucking nationalist park. It looks like something Hitler would put in a garden, basically. It looks like a Putin garden. She took out all of the former first lady's work and just destroyed it and threw it out in the trash. Years and years and years, generations of first lady's work is now gone. Why? Why do you feel the need to piss on years and years of America? Just so you can feel important, so you can feel better than Jackie O and Nancy and Michelle and Bush, going all the way back to like Madison. You guys are disgusting. I hope you know that. I hope you realize that deep down inside that what you guys are doing, although it may seem petty to some, it's just you are digging up all the good roots and replacing them with shit. That's what you guys are doing. Little by little, and you're proud of it. I wanted to discuss something else that amused me. It's funny. And I've been seeing it all over. In my neck of the woods, in Ohio, I'm about central eastern. I mean, we're right up against West Virginia. I mean, you can drive down the road about 20 minutes and you're going to go across the Ohio River and you're going to be in West Virginia. So I'm right there on the eastern side, sort of right in the middle of the eastern side of Ohio. And of course, we're right in the middle of a bunch of people that got completely okey-doked by the war on coal. They thought that Trump could save their jobs, that Trump cared about them. So they went out and they voted, and that's basically how he won Ohio in 2016, is because he okey-doked a bunch of sheep into thinking that he could save their jobs. And his buddy Murray helped. Him. And that's basically what we have around here is a bunch of deplorables that are good folks. They're good-hearted folks. But he got a good hook in them. He started making them fear for their livelihoods. They got a good hook in him. And all of these guys who still worship the ground that man walks on. I mean, they kowtow to him like some kind of dictator around here. I'm surrounded by deplorables. They're all around me. And I'm the crazy nutcase, the crazy liberal, stuck in the middle of deplorableville. And sadly, most of them are uneducated for the most part. High school, a bunch of trade people, hardworking, blue collar people. They really don't know too much about what they're talking about. They feel passion for the things he made them fear. He made them, they're patriotic people. So he made them fear people that wouldn't bow for the flag. He made them fear losing their jobs. He made them hate climate control because it made it harder for him to give them jobs. See, because Murray wants all these regulations to be brought back so he can make more money. So they make them fear this and call it a hoax and it's bullshit. And they made people in my neck of the woods completely deny science. They would rather listen to a pillow guy than somebody like Fauci or somebody that has been studying these things for years and years and years and has doctorate degrees in them. They would rather listen to the pillow guy. They would rather listen to some crazy psychic lady. He has turned people into Nazis all around me. And they're taking pleasure and they're prideful about how much of bullies they are. Now, let me explain something to you. If you have to take a parade and you haven't even won anything yet, that tells me that you're looking for attention. You got to feel better about yourself. You got to pretend like everything's good enough to have a parade. You're in the middle of a fucking pandemic. Millions and millions of people don't have a job. America is shitty right now, folks, and you're having a fucking parade? It's funny to me. It makes me laugh, but it also makes me cry deep inside because there's still people out there, and I'm surrounded by them. I don't know about the rest of you guys. I get the feeling that it's really starting to change. Another thing that I see in my neck of the woods are more people like me standing up. More people in my neck of the woods are also standing up and saying, you know what, that's wrong. That's bullshit. No, Trump is not a good guy. No, Trump is not doing good for you. I see a lot of people standing up and actually engaging and becoming vocal when it comes to these discussions about the deplorables and Trump and Democrats and liberals. I see people taking a stand, which I hadn't seen because I've been doing this for 4 years. So there wasn't too many people there that wanted to stand with me. But now I see people standing with me, and it at least gives me a little bit of hope. But I watched these, and the pictures are all over. The pictures are all over. These cars are going through town, the big trucks with their flags hanging, flying, and everybody's talking about how much they love Trump. And it's absurd. It's like you're having a parade for nothing. What did you do? What have you done to deserve a parade? You're not going to win in November. I hope you guys get that through your head. You're not going to win. It's almost laughable to think that you will. Because here's the thing, folks. Here's the thing. We had 65 million people plus that didn't like Trump back then, didn't vote for him, didn't want him, knew what a piece of shit he was going to be. And you guys had 62 million plus. We beat you by 3 million votes. And since then, he's destroyed the Constitution. He's destroyed science. He's destroyed education. He's destroyed climate change prevention. He's destroyed health care. He's destroyed our integrity. He's destroyed our honor. He's destroyed our intellect. They think that if they say something enough, it becomes true. If they just keep telling you that, oh, you're wrong, you're wrong. They don't have to say why you're wrong. They just have to say you're wrong. And that's good enough for them. They feel good about that. That they really have no argument. All they have is blind faith in a punk ass piece of shit. And yes, it amuses me. It does. It makes me laugh out loud quite often. But also I'm torn. I'm conflicted by it. Because it's not just a joke. These people are still going to be here when he gets beat in November. Sadly, these people could pull off another fucking sly one. Never know what's going to happen. Look what they did with the post office. They absolutely tried to oppress the vote by not allowing people to mail in. And when they couldn't not let people mail in, then they just started destroying all these mailing sorting machines. So it's going to throw a monkey wrench in the whole works. It's oppression. They're trying to oppress the vote, to keep people from getting to vote. In Tennessee, they just passed a law that says if you're protesting, you could be charged with a felony and lose your right to vote there too. There's another way they're trying to oppress you, take away your vote for no reason. Because you're out there peacefully protesting, which is absolutely your right. See, these are the kind of chips that they make in our armor, folks. You don't understand that when he started attacking the press, calling the press into question, calling everything fake news and a hoax, that right there was a big chip in our armor. Because now all they have to say is, no, that's fake news. They don't even have to start to try and understand the truth. They can just deny it that easy. It's what all dictators do. All dictators create a monopoly on the truth. Everything they say is like the word of God, and everything else doesn't matter. In certain countries, North Korea, Russia used to be that way. China probably is still. They're not allowed to listen to outside sources. The only news sources they get are state-sanctioned news sources. They don't get to hear all the rest of the rubbish. So their leaders automatically get to tell them what's true. That's what Hitler did. Hitler got rid of all the other radio stations and took over all the other periodicals, and the only news people got was Nazi news. And that's what Trump tried to do with Fox News. That's what he's trying to do again now with that ONN or whatever that bullshit is. Fox is starting to get wise. So even Fox is tired of his shit. So they're starting to shy away here and there with him. So he had to come up with his own network to feed his racist base, to feed his ignorant base. Now, I'm not saying anything that a lot of people don't already know. I mean, a lot of people, educated people, understanding, thoughtful folks, they know. There's a lot of them out there. Like I said, there was 3 million more 4 years ago, and that number's only grew. I hate to say it, but your number is diminishing. Another thing, how do you explain? He says he gets the best people. Wasn't that I'll get the best people and I'll drain that swamp? How do you explain all of the people going to fucking jail? Everybody that he puts in a position is going to jail for corruption. The latest one is old Bannon. I told you that guy was a piece of shit 4 years ago. He got thrown in jail for cheating a bunch of racist people out of their money for that wall. He said, give me some money for the wall and we'll build that wall. And then he just took your fucking money. You stupid fucking dumbasses. How you feel? They just keep fucking you and you keep handing them lube. I don't understand. I really don't get it. Another thing that you guys just don't, I don't understand it. Why you can't see it. He puts private education in charge of public education. He puts people that benefit from the destruction of something in charge of that something. And you don't even see it. You don't even care. He put a coal lobbyist in charge of our EPA, folks. That's what that should be doing. Smacking you right in the face. Somebody who's getting paid by a business that destroys the environment to lobby against the EPA is now in charge of the EPA. How does that make sense? The postal guy, the new postmaster that he put in charge of the postmaster, he's part owner of a place like FedEx. He is an independent mail provider, and he's in charge of our public mail. How does that make sense to you, folks? How do you reconcile that in your brain? Do you even let your brain work anymore? Are you guys so full of shit that you can't see anything else? I think that's what it has to be. He has dumped so much bullshit and propaganda and misinformation and misleading, misguiding information on top of your heads that you can't see through it all to see anything else. You're so full of shit that you can't see nothing but shit. You forgot how bad the shit smells. You're so full of it. And that's the amusing part to me. But it's also the scary part. It's also the worrisome part. It's also the part of it that just disgusts me. I've been seeing all these things that just don't make sense. How does it make sense to you that people are allowed to go with guns and protest not wearing a mask and everything's hunky-dory, everything's fine. Let them just go carry their masks through there and yell at everybody and cuss at everybody and tell everybody they're stupid. And nobody does a goddamn thing to them. But yet you have people that are just out there peacefully protesting police brutality, and they get gassed and rubber bullet. They get called the bad guys. How does that make sense to you? How is it okay for a certain group of people to protest, but it's not okay for another certain group to protest? Does that seem like America to you? So what's going to happen? And I keep going back to this because I've been concerned about this. I told a friend of mine about 2 months ago, probably more. And I said, I'm more afraid of Trump not winning than I am of Trump winning. I'm almost more afraid for America, not so much myself. You know, que sera, whatever's going to be is going to be, whatever. I willingly accept any consequences I get from my actions, but I'm more worried about America in the future and our children. We think the world's bad now. What's going to happen when millions of pissed off deplorables don't get their way? They've already established the fact that they don't give a flying fuck about anybody else. They don't. Old people are expendable. Our kids are expendable. Anybody that isn't a deplorable is an undesirable and basically vermin. If all the liberals and Democrats died today, the deplorables would have another parade through town. And that's what it's become. In no uncertain terms, make no mistake about it. We have gotten to the pitch where some people's lives aren't worth as much as other people's lives. And those people are in charge. See, before we had Abe in charge, and Abe was a good liberal man, thoughtful. And even though he may have counted on some slavery, he knew deep inside it was wrong. So he stood against them guys. But now the Nazis are in charge. The Confederates are in charge, folks. They can set the rules whatever they want. They're doing whatever they want to do. Chipping away at what makes America great every single day. For 4 years, they've been doing it. For 2 years, they did it under a lot of people's noses because nobody wanted to care. Now people are starting to care, and they're really starting to speak out, and they're starting to say things. The DNC should have proved that to you. People stood up and absolutely made no bones about saying that Trump's a piece of shit. And there's a lot of us out there, and we're speaking back. So how do we deal with people that refuse to listen to reason and truth and logic and something that might make some sense? They refuse it. They deny science. They don't care about protecting our environment. They don't care about protecting our kids. They don't care about protecting our old people. They don't care about nobody but their fucking selves. And they prove it every day. And then they're proud enough to have a fucking parade for it. So what do you do with these kind of people, folks? What else can you do besides vote them into the ground? I mean, come November, you need to make sure everybody that dislikes Trump is out there voting. Vote, vote, vote. Because that's the only way that we have to get some sense back in charge. Because the bad guys are in charge, folks. Make no mistake. And they're going to make it as bad guys don't care about being bad. I hear all you Second Amendment freaks saying that. Bad guys don't care about that. They don't care about the law. Yeah, I know. Because the bad guys are in charge now and they don't care about the rules or the law or what's fair or what's honest or what could be more righteous, what's closer to the truth. They only care about what they want and what they think and what they were made to believe by a bunch of fucking con men. And all these guys are going to jail. Trump should be in fucking jail. But nobody can see it. They can't see it. And I don't understand what I can do or how I can help them see it. And I go through phases. One day I'll say, I got to figure out how to help them. And the other day I'll be like, yeah, fuck them, man. Fuck those guys. If they don't know what the fuck's going on, fuck them. But I go back and forth because I do really genuinely care about everybody. I understand that sometimes you get led astray and you get bamboozled, you get run amok. That shit happens. But when is it past the point of no return? Are all of you deplorables really past the point of no return? Because that's what it seems like I'm seeing. I'm seeing a bunch of people. You know, there's still people who wholeheartedly believe in Hitler and still defend and promote Hitler with their dying breath because they believed in his message. No matter how shitty it was, they believe in it. Same goes for Stalin. I've run into a bunch of these dumb sons of bitches who actually think that Stalin was a good man. That's something to strive for. Pure communism is the way of the world. How fucking absurd is that? It's just as absurd as thinking God should rule. Nationalism, conservatism, old school stuff. They want us to go back to when it was good for them, where might was right and women didn't matter and minorities didn't matter and an elite class rules, because deep down inside they all think they're part of an elite class. All them stupid ass fucking rednecks out there kissing their cousins, big trucks, all of these just stupid, rock dumb people out there think that somehow there's a superior race. They're the elite class. You know, you look back at the Nazis. Hitler was a sickly bitch. He couldn't even have passed his Nazi test. Neither could Goebbels. He was all he had a bad like club foot, short, bald. He couldn't, the people that were in charge couldn't pass their test. They couldn't even have officially been Nazis if they weren't leaders. And Trump's the same way. Trump has this vision of everybody being Christian and loving America and all the law and order, but he don't give a flying fuck about any of them things. He's not a Christian. He don't care about America, and he's among the dirtiest people of all fucking time. Corrupt, dirty, cheating, fuck. but yet he wants us to live up to expectations that he himself can't live up to. That's how you can tell when you're getting conned, folks. That's how you can tell when you're dealing with a Jim Jones. That's basically what Donald is right now. He's a cult leader. He's the leader of a cult. You deplorables are a cult. And how can you tell a cult? Let's do that. Let's look up the signs of a cult. Okay? I think that's a good exercise here. Signs of cults. Oh, it popped right up. I didn't even have to finish it. I just SIG signs of a cult. There it is. 7 signs of a cult. Let's see here. Okay. Let's go down. Oh, opposing critical thinking is the very first one. Let's discuss that for a second. Critical thinking. It's like I go back to this thing where I was talking about putting a private educator in charge of public education. Critical thinking would make you see that that's a conflict of interest. You should not put people that benefit from selling education in charge of public education. It's in their best interest to destroy public education so they can make some more fucking money. That's called critical thinking, folks. And you lack it. For a lot of things. Use that critical thinking on all kinds of different things that have happened in the last 4 years, and you will see that you're a cult. You refuse to critically think. You only listen to what he tells you. Or what each other tell you. Number 1. Number 2, isolating members and penalizing them for leaving. That goes along with no news but his news. Saying bad things about McCain because he didn't want to fucking hang with the Republicans. Party politics. Penalizing them. He always wants to say, well, I'll get him for that. He'd throw a New Year under the bus because they won't let MAGA hats in there. That's penalizing people for not doing what he wants. Number 3, emphasizing special doctrines outside Scripture. Well, this goes for religion, really, because most cults are religious in nature, it seems. But this is a different kind of cult. But this has an aspect of religion. I mean, a Christian nation. And they all proclaim to love Jesus and then spit in his face every fucking day. So it's special. We're special Christians right now. We don't really got to be like Jesus. We got our own special Christian doctrine to follow. We need to be deplorable Christians, and our new savior is Donald Trump. There's another one. Number 3. That was number 3. So you checked 1, you checked 2, you checked 3. Let's go to number 4. Seeking inappropriate loyalty to their leaders. Don't question the president. No, you can't say nothing bad. Why are you being mean to the president? He's allowed to have 5 wives. He's allowed to cheat on them all. He's allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants to do because he's Donald Trump. He's our savior. Got that one. There's number 4. You're 4 for 4 so far, guys. Dishonoring the family unit. Yep. That's 5 for 5. 6, crossing biblical boundaries of behavior versus sexual purity and personal ownership. Oh, I see. So, like when he accuses Kamala of being a whore when he's literally married to a fucking whore. See how that goes? He's literally married to a slut, a whore, a paid prostitute. But yet he wants to call everybody else nasty and a hoe and a whore and dirty and blame the victims like from Kavanaugh and blame all the other, grabbing pussy. He's allowed to grab pussy all you want, right? But everybody else is a pedophile. 6 for 6. 6 for 6. 7 is separation from the church. Well, you've done that. You've really separated yourself from Jesus' teaching because you are not Jesus' teaching. You are a separate entity of Christianity right now. The Christian right has gone way the fuck right. They're going towards German mysticism. They're creating a whole nother religion with what they're doing because with a new religion as Trump as their new savior. How does that equate? How can you ever say that Trump is a savior? Christians out there using the same word for Trump as they use for Jesus fucking Christ. Are you kidding me? If that doesn't stray from teaching, if that doesn't separate itself from the church, I don't know what does. A cult. You're a cult. You are an entity unto yourselves, destroying America. You are literally domestic terrorists. Now, I know you want to project all these things. Let's talk about that for a couple minutes. Let's talk about projection for a minute. They want to project all of their misdeeds on everyone else. So if you lie, you call everybody else a liar. If you cheat, you say everybody else is going to cheat. You see what projection is? That's basically what he's done since day one. Projecting all of his misdeeds on everybody else. Look at them dirty liberals over here while I rob you blind. Look at all these pedophiles over here while I've got 20 indictments against me for sexual misconduct. I'm all about law and order, but yet I can't even have a fair trial in the Congress. We're all about the Constitution, but we're going to gas and rubber bullet peaceful protesters. See how it don't go together, folks. What he's saying and what he's doing are two different things. He's making you believe a bunch of bullshit while he's raping you. You're so happy with your parade that you don't realize you're getting dry fucked. And so is everybody else because of you. He is literally destroying America in favor of an authoritarian government. Now, let's discuss that for a second. Let's hit that point hard for a second. What you have to understand the difference is, in America, the people rule. We elect officials and we hold them accountable and we figure out what's right collectively. Everybody has a voice. And all these voices add up to what we're going to do. In an authoritarian government, it's usually a group of people, an elite class with one head. Like, for instance, the Nazis. Like, for instance, the Soviet Union. Like, for instance, North Korea. These one people This one person, Stalin, Hitler, Kim Jong-un, these guys, they're like royalty. They're above everyone else. Mein Führer. Stalin was like the head honcho. And they have all these elite guys down below him helping her out, the Nazis. And it's usually military based. It's a military state because dictators tend to want to expand. They want to rule more people. They don't want people to have rights or freedom. They want to rule people. And that is where Trump is trying to take us. Trump wants to be like Kim. He wants to be like Putin. He wants to be like Hitler, and he wants to be like Stalin. He doesn't want to be America anymore, folks. He's already talking about going for a third term. They asked him about all the people that are going to jail, and what did he say? Well, Obama should go to jail because he spied on me. Why did Obama spy on you? Because he knew you were a piece of shit. He knew you were fucking around with Putin. He knew you were a dirty, cock-sucking, stupid, rich boy. So, of course, he was going to keep his eye on you. Why wouldn't he? He'd be stupid if he didn't. And guess what? He's not stupid like you. Then it'll say, well, they've been mean to me for 4 years. That's because we knew you were a piece of shit for 4 years. Quit crying about it. All these things lead back to the first sign of a cult, critical thinking. You guys lack critical thinking. I'm glad I looked that up. I'm glad we went there. You guys completely lack critical thinking. Because like I said, you're so overloaded with horse shit that you can't critically think. You're buried in horse shit from the very beginning. And you deny anything else that comes in conflict with the bullshit that you're buried under. And that's the problem, folks. And see, here's the problem. When you're laying down under all of that shit and you forgot how bad it smelled, and now everybody else is telling you, you're laying in a bunch of shit. So you got, well, I'm not in shit. No, I'm not. I'm not in shit. Let's have a parade to prove I'm not in shit. No, you're in shit. You just cleaned it up and drove it around town with your flags, pretending like you're not shit. But you still are. And that amuses me. Another thing that's I'm conflicted about. I don't know whether to pity people and feel sorry for them or say, you know what? Fuck you. You got it coming. I hope you feel bad. Half of me says, God damn it. I hope them deplorables feel bad. The tough love. You need to fucking feel bad for what you've done for the last 4 years. How you've treated people, how you've acted, what you've promoted and defended. You need to feel bad for it. You really do. No matter how much of a pretty face you put on and pretend like everything's hunky-dory, it's not. And it's your fault it's not. And I haven't pretended otherwise. But guess what? A lot of people now are not pretending anymore. And you have to act like you're confident. He has to instill you with confidence. You have to pretend that everything is just perfect. Because if you stop pretending everything is perfect, then you've got to clear away that shit and really see what things are. Really see where you've taken America in the last 4 years. And I do wonder, I was just thinking this today. Maybe since you guys still haven't figured it out, maybe the big man upstairs will give him another 4 years. Just so you stupid sons of bitches can finally figure it out. But I wonder if you ever will. Like I said, there's still people that like Stalin. There's still people that like Hitler. There's still people that could never come to terms with the fact that they were wrong. And you guys are part of them now. Congratulations. There's still people out there that think the Confederacy was good. Now, if you think any of these things are good, you're wrong. You're wrong. And I wonder if you'll die like that. I wonder if some years down the road and you're on your final deathbed and your kids ask you if you have any regrets. And I bet you'll say, well, I know I can't regret voting for Trump. I can't regret that. Because if I regret that, then I know I'm going to hell. And it's too late for me to fix it now. If you really believe in Jesus, if you're really a Christian, take some advice from somebody who is a Christian. I signed my soul up long ago. I was raised to give my soul to Jesus. My soul is Jesus's. So he's going to do with it what he must. It's up to him to judge it at the end. Take it from somebody who has officially signed his soul over to Jesus. You guys better do some fucking repenting. You guys better say some Hail Marys and Our Fathers. And I mean quick. I mean quick. And you're not just going to have to do that. Just not Hail Marys and Our Fathers. You're going to have to turn these words into actions. You're going to actually start having to treat people better. You're going to actually have to start thinking about things harder. You're going to actually have to be thoughtful and honest and fair, even if it fucking hurts. Because if you don't start doing that pretty soon, odds are I'll be seeing you in hell. And we'll have an eternity to talk about it there. It'll be hot, more than likely. Some other bad things will probably be going on, but, in our downtime, I'm sure there's some downtime in hell where you can sit and think about being in hell. I mean, what's more hell than that? Sitting around thinking about, oh shit, I'm in fucking hell. So while we have our downtime, we can talk about nicer things. All the shit you did while you were alive. We'll discuss, where you went wrong with the whole Hitler thing. Trump thing. We'll talk to some former Nazis too while we're there. See what they have to say. Talk to Hitler about it. See what Stalin's got to say about, well, you got any regrets about, being one of the worst dictators in the history of the world? I'm sure he does. By now, I'm sure he does. I'm sure Hitler is somewhere down there regretting everything he ever did. Now it's been about 50. I want to discuss what's coming up here. I don't know if this is true or not. So it's hard for me to tell sometimes when it comes, because it's just so everything, you have to expect the absurd. Now, the bad thing about it is the absurd is true. Scott Baio is speaking at the RNC. The pillow guy. That kid with the MAGA hat from the Nazi parade. Some crazy silk and diamond. The crazy doctor that says, demon seed gives us COVID. These are the people that are going to speak at the Republican National Convention. Are you fucking kidding me? Now, flip the script and look who spoke at the Democratic National Convention. Both Obamas. Republican senators. Hillary. Bill. Carter. I mean, big players in politics. Things that people that know what the fuck they're talking about. These are the strong voices that the Democrats have for you. And the Republicans have Chachi. The Republicans have that crazy woman that thinks that you can get cancer because Beelzebub puts a stiff one in your behind. These are the people that you're having. That stupid kid. I don't even want to make fun of the kid because I shouldn't. I shouldn't make fun of the kid because obviously he doesn't know no better. He doesn't get it. But I will make fun of Silk and Diamond. Those two ladies, crazy. You can see that they're crazy. They got no idea what they're fucking talking about. They don't care. They just care about having attention in their high heels and fancy outfits and boisterous personalities. They just care about the attention, just like Trump, just like Scott Baio. Scott Baio ain't meant shit since he was Charles in charge. And he's just looking for some attention, get paid. Yeah, pay me. I'll come talk for you. It's ridiculous. It's absurd. It's a spit in the face of American integrity and honor to let these people stand up and speak. For somebody who's supposed to be the president of the United fucking States. Oh, for fuck's sake. What have we become? What have we become on the conservative side, folks? What have you guys become? It's sad. It's funny and it's sad all at the same time. I don't know what to do with myself most of the time. I don't know whether to puke because I'm laughing or puke because I'm disgusted. I don't know which one to do first. It's to the point. You guys almost got it to the point where the truth isn't truth anymore. Somehow how you guys act and what you guys say is cool. That's where you have to believe it is, right? I'm sorry, guys, but there's a lot of people that think you're full of shit, that think you're funny, that are disgusted by you. Just petty nonsense like the flower garden. Pretend like somehow she's better than all the rest of them first ladies. And she just has the right to strip the White House of everybody that was there before to make it look like a fucking Hitler. Like it looks like a rally spot. a small rally spot for Mein Führer. That's what that garden looks like now. You go look at some, the old blueprints. Go look at some old blueprints from, Germania, the great big city that Hitler wanted to build around Berlin, and all the architecture. And you'll see gardens that look exactly like that in the back of our fucking White House. She took out all the pretty trees, all the pretty flowers, all the nice little things that each first lady did over the years. Talk about history. You talk about destroying history. What that woman did is just one more ginormous kick in America's nuts. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And the fact that people aren't more disgusted about it, it just blows my mind. It blows my mind. It's been blowing my mind for 4 years that people didn't get it. But I start to see them starting to get it. But now I'm to the point where you need to be completely and utterly disgusted by this. There is no middle ground for us right now. You have to get to the point where you can't like Trump anymore. If you like Trump, you're suspect. I don't care why you do anymore. I don't care. I don't care why you think this is okay. And there's a lot of people out there like me that don't care why you think this is okay. They need you to stop. Enough is enough. You see him saying it everywhere. Kid Rock. Kid Rock is speaking for the Republicans. What's that other douchebag? That has been musician. Oh, what's his name? I can't even think of his name. That's how insignificant he is. Talking about shooting them down like coyotes or whatever, that piece of shit. Just a piece of shit. Yeah, you made a couple good songs once. But you're still stupid. You're stupid. And you're mean. And you're a bully. You're a piece of shit. And you're just going to go up there and be proud of being a piece of shit. That's what we're going to see from the Republicans on that side. I don't want to watch it because I don't want him to think that I want to watch it for comedy reasons. I want to watch it so I can say, there you go. There's your asshole right there. There's your dictatorship. I want to start pointing out these things to you guys, which I have been all along, but again, it doesn't matter because you don't see it. You can't see it. You refuse to see it. You deny it. You deflect it. It's the same shit, different day with you guys. What's it going to take? I keep asking you, what's it going to take? Is it going to take a bunch of kids dying from this virus? Will that finally tell you what a piece of shit you guys are being? If he stops the vote, will that tell you? What's it going to take? What do I need to say? Or what does he need to do or say to make you guys see what a complete... I don't even have the word for how bad we are right now. I don't even have the word for it. And that's saying something when I can't come up with the word. It's just repugnant, foobar. I mean, it's not fucked up beyond all recognition. I mean, we can fix it. We're gonna fix it. But it's just America has America has never looked this bad. Even when we were in war, we were still strong. We were together on even the Civil War. You know, we fought hard. The Union, even the Confederacy fought hard. They were together. We were together. You know, even then. Now we're just so far apart. You got one side over here that's just like, how can anything that you be saying make sense to you? And you guys have to believe that about us too, right? It's disgusting, man. It's just, that's my hour. I don't even know how good that was. I don't care, but I had to do it because I could go back to work here in a little bit and might not get another chance for a while. So that was it. The next Loonie Liberal Power Hour with your host, Lance Richards. I hope you enjoyed. Doesn't really matter if you did or if you didn't, but I hope you did. Be safe. Be strong. Take care of each other. Be thoughtful and kind and honest and fair. Try to critically think. Use some critical thought. Try to move all the shit you're buried by and actually look at logic and reason and search for truth. Because if you call yourself a deplorable, if you wave a Trump flag, if you think that man needs to be voted for another 4 years, then you are completely lost, my friend. You are off the reservation. And I hope you know that. It's to that point. You're off the reservation. Thank you for your time. Dumbass out.